Hello bookworms, welcome to another video. Today's review book is The Traitors Ruin by Aaron Beattie. It is book 2 in the Traitors series. There's 3 of them. I love the covers on this one. I did the review for the first book, Traitors Kiss, and I'll put the link below in the description box. This one has the same main characters, Sage and Alex are the 2 main characters, and they're the 2 main characters in the first one. I don't know why Sage's name left my brain there for just a second. I will read the back. After proving her worth as a deft spy and a strategic matchmaker, Sage Fowler is now comfortably positioned in high society as the royal tutor. When she learns of a secret mission, she jumps at the chance to serve her kingdom, to be reunited with her fiancé, Captain Alex Quinn. However, Sage's headstrong insistence clashes with Alex's gruff military exterior. The 2 finally find common ground during a skirmish with the bordering kingdom, only to be separated when tragedy strikes. Now, with Sage vulnerable in enemy territory, she desperately scrambles to complete Alex's reconnaissance mission. It's up to her to save her kingdom once more. This one I found very stressful. Again, it's like the first book where the chapters jump back and forth between Sage and Alex's point of views in third person. And actually there's a few chapters, the chapters are actually quite small, like some of them, it's only like, and then that's the end of the chapter. There's even one in here that's literally like 1 page, right? Like chapter 71 is 1 page, not even a full page. Like they're short chapters. And there's a couple of them that are in one of the enemies. He's an enemy, but he's not really an enemy. So they are Demoran, and they are fighting the Commissar, and they're not fighting the Commissar. So the main map is Demora. This way. Get that centered. And then Commissar is down here. This one is Commissar. And then Casmun is where a lot of this book takes place. Now, they're not enemies of Casmun or anything like that. They're trying to figure stuff out. But anyway, some of the chapters, a few of them are from a Commissar general, Commissar captain's point of view from their army. It's interesting. Anyway, I don't want to give away too much. I found the whole thing very frustrating, but part of it is because that's how the story goes, right? Like, it's a whole bunch of misunderstandings and miscommunication and people not talking and things just not happening, like people just missing each other and things like that. Like, it's very frustrating, but in a good way. There were some points where I was shocked. There were some points where I was sad. In the first one, I said the same thing. There is a very sad moment where I cried physical tears in the first one. And it's again in this one for the exact same reason. And Aaron Beattie, stop doing it. If it happens again in the third book, I'm like, why? Why do you have to keep doing this to me? Sure, it causes drama and intrigue and interest, but there had better be a good effing reason for it. I guess we'll find out in the third book if there was a good effing reason for it. But in my mind, it only caused heartache and pain. The chapters, like I said, are short. I felt like the whole book overall was well paced, though. I didn't find it incredibly predictable, though there was some spots that were like, well, of course it's gonna happen like that. Yeah, and some small twists, because obviously I was shocked. I had some moments of shock. It's not as romancy as the first one. The first one had more romance between Sage and Alex because it was new to them. They were falling in love. This one is more about the mission and the spying and discovering what's happening. It's a little bit more political. But obviously they still love each other very much. It's very interesting. And it ended like the other one, whereas you could leave it alone and not read the next book and be fine. Like the first one, I read it and it ended good enough. And this one was the same. Like, if I had to wait for the third one, I wouldn't be so upset. Like, it didn't end on like a serious cliffhanger or anything like that. So it was a good ending. Although I want to know why there's a third book. Like, what is she putting in the third book? I want to know what happens. So there's that. But yeah, overall, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was definitely interesting, definitely a page turner, great writing, an engaging plot, emotionally moving. I did like both books. The first book, this one, I like actual tears, not like sobbing, but like made my eyes water. Leaky eyes, I don't know what to call it. I should also mention though that my emotions are still right at the surface from personal tragedy. So anything that is the least bit emotional, I cry. So it might not make you cry, but I'm feeling extra emotional. So it definitely made me cry. The characters, you can still see development in them with growth and learning, which is excellent. It's the plot is complex. I can't think of any books. I'm trying to think where something similar. I can't remember the names of them now, where it's a similar plot. And even the landscape is similar. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts that I can't remember that. But anyway, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to reread this series or not. 4 out of 5 stars. I still recommend it. I still really enjoyed the book. And I want to read the third one to see what happens and see what happens. And I want to know, because so Alex and Sage, obviously they want, the first book is about her being a matchmaker and like political matches and stuff. But in this world, people in the army aren't allowed to get married until they're 24, and that is for purposes of like get married and like have kids right away, and then you get sent off to do stuff and die and leave your wife widowed and your children fatherless. So they make them wait till they further on into their army career, and the chances of them being deployed is less likely. They're more, so it's for family stability. So Alex and Sage cannot get married yet because Alex is not 24. So I'm assuming their wedding will be happening in the third book, possibly by the end of the third book. But I would like to see how it ends and what else happens, because there's still that potential of war. So I guess I don't know what the conflict is going to be in the third book. I cannot see how they're connected. Like, that is the only thing I can see. Besides them being like a wrap up, like trying to wrap up the 3 countries into some sort of unity or a giant battle. Your guess is as good as mine if you've read it or not. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely recommend. Check it out. I'll put the link for book 1 in the description box, and the link for book 3 will be in the description box after I've read and posted that video. I hope you guys have a wonderful night.